What's up, everyone? So, wanted to actually, there's a lot of things I wanted to talk about. Been very interested in following Darwinism lately and studying it and trying to learn it. So, if anyone is out there that can tell me what I'm missing, I would love to hear it. Well, I have a good setup right here. I hear the howling outside. The howling. This is not a good look. But I keep studying. I've really been looking into evolution and studying it, and even looking into reading the book. What is it? The Origin of Species, or Origin? Darwin's actual book that he had. I'm actually looking into it, and I'm starting to read it. I want to read it. I'm listening to it right now. The Origin of Species, is that what it's called? But I am very interested in learning because people tell me, I keep getting people chatting at me saying, "Oh, I need to keep reading and learning about it." And the more that I'm learning about it, I'm still not seeing anything extremely convincing about it. And everything that I do see about it, it leads me to nothing further than it is still faith if you believe in Darwinism. And but if you are out there, can you all hear me good? If you can put it in the chat, let me know if it's coming through good. But I just wanted to talk about this. There's a lot of things I actually wanted to talk about lately. The new pope has been very interesting to me, but just this whole evolution. Like, I think I grew up in school, going to school, and just learning about evolution, and it's just assumed to be true. And is it actually true? Is it real? Or is it just another faith? To me, like, the more that I'm actually looking into it and trying to find out about it and trying to get it all scientific, it seems like it is still just faith. It is no more valid of a faith than any other just regular religion. Christianity, Islam, all those out there, Judaism, and all the other offshoots from all of them. But I would be very interested if anybody would has any thinks that Darwinism is true. I would love to see it. Love to hear about it. But I mean, are we getting kind of away from the whole thing of Darwinism in the first place? Evolution. It doesn't seem like people are on this anymore. It seems like people have bounced out of evolution and Darwinism. It seems like that's why I listen to Joe Rogan and everything. He might say that he believes in evolution, but this is how we all evolved from one species. We evolved from the monkeys. But even Joe, he seems like he subscribes a lot more to the simulation theory, that just this is all a simulation. I don't know. Seems like I haven't got really a strong viewpoint. I'm watching a lot of videos and trying to read up on it and trying to really understand it. You can say that we evolved from one organism, because like all of humanity is comes from the same ancestor. All of the animals that are out there, that we all descend from, we're all intermingled together, and there's one line of genes and all that's been passed through all the species that are on this planet. But that doesn't seem that much further from a biblical worldview. It seems like that is just a biblical worldview in itself. Because I mean, the Bible also says about like that God took from the dust and made all the animals from the dust and all that, and they came from that, and even man was made from that. So it's not that far fetched to think that we are. I mean, it's just still faith. It's still faith. There's nothing more valid I am seeing at all in Darwinism as opposed to any other religion. I'm going to keep searching. I'm very open to it because I know even Christians can believe in evolution, you know, because a lot of Christians do. A lot of Christians do accept evolution as a true fact, but they also make it clear that they still believe in Christ. They still believe in the Bible. They just believe it's more stages and ages and history and all that. It just doesn't. I'm very open to it. I'm just not seeing the evidence. I'm seeing people getting fossil records and different things of species of, and they're trying to connect dots. They get one bone and then they just create this whole thing from one bone, and it's all computerized and all that, and just people's imaginations and scientists' imaginations to make this. And I'm not seeing it's being stronger evidence than anything else. I know I keep going back and forth about this, but it does seem like everybody seems to already get it. Yeah, evolution might be a thing or might not. I don't know. But it seems like we're all just on this, what are we doing here kind of thing. We're trying to figure out why are we here. And no one seems to have the right answers. No one seems to have a stronger answer than anyone else. And everyone is just searching. Everyone's searching. And I don't know. What do you all think? Do you think there is validity to it? Most people don't even think about this type of stuff. Most people are just doing their thing, watching sports, going to work, doing the regular things of life. But I'm open to it. I mean, I want to get into a debate about it because, to me, I just watch these long videos about it, and they just assume there's so many just assumptions that are taking place of Darwinism being correct. I mean, in Darwin, he was a brilliant man. He was a brilliant man, and and I'm also like wondering, like, it seems like the smarter people get, the more they just get away from God. Why is it the smarter people get, the further they get away from God? Because we have to have a rational, reasonable explanation. And of course it can't be the Bible. The Bible can't be something that's valid or true. So we have to come up with something else, another theory. And all it is just another theory. But nobody has the right answers. Nobody has the right answers. Especially Christians. Christians can't have the right thing. We can't believe in this. That seems like the fairy tale, when it's all faith. The more I look into this, the more I try to find, because I mean, and another thing on topic, I just watched a movie called The Heretic. We just watched a movie called The Heretic. It came out last year, and man, that will mess you up. That is a movie about a lot of crazy stuff, and I don't want to spoil or give anything away, but the guy in that movie is freaking messed up. He's messed up. And Hugh Grant, the guy who plays that man, he is versatile. I've always liked Hugh Grant, but I've always known him more as a funny guy. And in this movie, this guy, he makes you think, because he goes into all the religions, and they prop up Mormonism as that it is kind of like the one you want to look to, because it is always this. It's like, I love Catholics, and I think Catholics, they got a lot of things right. I'm not Catholic, but it seems like Hollywood always either chooses the Catholic or they're choosing the Mormon to represent what Christianity is. And that's what Hollywood does. And maybe that's the whole prince of the power of the air kind of thing. You know, Satan wants to just give you this. And I'm not saying that the Catholic Church is like, I've went through stages of thinking, oh man, the Catholic Church is completely bad. It's completely wrong, and what they're doing is wrong. I mean, but I think they got a lot of things right. I'm still struggling with their whole thing on the Pope. The Pope. I'm still struggling on the Pope situation because I'm very interested in Catholicism. Like I said, I'm drawn to it. But the more I learn about the Pope, I see where they try to get Peter, you know, and he had authority. He was given authority. He was given authority, and I get that. I get that with the apostles, but then the transition and succession to the next generation of that specific authority, of papal authority, and to have the papacy continue, that does not seem like. I'm still trying to understand that. And the verses, and it's not even verses, it's things to take it from church history and treating that as gospel. And I don't think, because I know, but I'm open. I'm an open book. I am an open book, and I am very interested in these things. But it seems like Hollywood, they choose Catholicism or Mormonism, and those are kind of like the representatives of Christianity. Christianity, it seems like it's so messed up. Seems like it's so messed up from my vantage point. Just the outward visible manifestation of what we see on earth seems so messed up because it's so scattered. It's all over the place. It's all over the place. No one seems to have, seems like, it just seems like we don't got our act together. We're all just against each other. We're all trying to say, we're the one true church. You need to come watch us. You need to come be a part of us. And as opposed to, that's why I'm none of those things. I'm not Catholic. I would not even call myself Baptist, even though our family goes to a Baptist church. I would not call myself a Baptist. Seems like we're just, everyone is so scattered and so no one's on the same page. But I know a lot of people out there are just, I'm just very interested in this whole Darwinism thing. The more I'm learning about it, the more I'm kind of seeing that they don't, it's more of a false portrayal of we got everything together. It's not it's not as strong of a case that it seems to be made out to and assumed to be correct. And I've said I'm open to it, but like a lot of people say you need to keep learning, you need to keep seeing the things, but it's just assumed. It's always just assumed. You just have to buy into it. You can't question it. It has to be real. It is evolution, Darwinism. To me, it's a religion, no different than any of the other faiths that are out there. And Darwin is just held up almost as a prophet. He's the person speaking for the voice of authority and God, but not a God, you know. But almost everything becomes like you become your own God. If there is no God, you become the God of everything. But if someone out there is able to show me these things, like I've said so many times, I'm like the dinosaurs, the fossils, and everything. I just, there might have been dinosaurs. There might have been, you know, but I mean, I'm just not seeing the strong like fossil record that they always make it seem like, you know. And it seemed like I've never been able to see that. You see bits and pieces of it, but I don't see actual fossil record. I don't see actual fossil of these things that they have. You know, they get one bone and then they create this whole ginormous thing and make it seem like that is what they were, and that's what, as opposed to it's got to be hiding something, and it trying to create something just so people can have faith that we came from the primordial soup, and that there were dinosaurs, there were all we the, I mean they whenever I learn about the Darwinism evolution, it's always about, they point to whales coming from land mammals, and they just somehow developed the ability to be whales. And it's just, you have to just keep pushing back the timeline. It's not just 1,000 years or 6,000 years or 10,000 years, but you have to push it back to millions and billions and billions to say that it's the only way they can make sense of it. You just got to give them enough time, and it might be true. I mean, but the more I'm seeing, the more I look into it, it's just, it doesn't seem true. It doesn't seem real. It doesn't seem any more valid of a faith. But I'm open. I'm open to hearing it. I want to see if we can actually. Hmm. But if anyone out there has valid points, because I'm still not seeing it. I'm still not seeing it. I'm just not. I'm not. And I'm genuinely wanting to know what, like, because they make it seem like it is gospel. It is the word of God that we evolved from these species. And everyone that does, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all. I'm not seeing it at all. Just we descended from these animals, and we're all just connected, and but yet the animals that we descended from are still there. Like, we descended from monkeys, but then they're still there. Survival of the fittest, natural selection, but they don't seem to die off, even though we've evolved from them. They're just still there, There's nothing, there's no, and I mean, like, you could try, like, I don't think we ever could know. I mean, I don't think we really ever could know, unless we get a time machine. Maybe that's science is gonna have to figure out a time machine, and let's just go back billions of years. Go back, To me, it's the safe is the safe. I mean, it just is a gambling person. If you want to have, like, just person that just be smart about what's the probability, just that wherever I'm having this discussion, even thinking about these things, it doesn't make sense that there's not some form of higher intelligence. We know that it's out there. Even the people that just always assumed evolution or Darwinism, they have to switch it up and say, now it's a simulation. We're just in a simulation. If we're being in a simulation, then there's got to be something outside of this structure that we're in that is just running the show and put us and threw us into the simulation. I mean, I love to hear. I want to know. I want to hear if it's valid or not. I want to hear. But you search on YouTube about evolution and learn about this. They can only show so much, because there's only so much stuff out there available to pull from. There's not a whole lot of stuff you can actually pull from, and it becomes just this created form of a new biblical text of how you want to just kind of create it and put it together. I mean, I know it sounds stupid that in the past that there could have been giants, and there could have been people living almost to 1,000 years and hundreds of years, But then then at the same time we see these ancient civilizations that were able to create these crazy things that are out there, and there's just so much unknown. So I get it. So if you think the Christian, how can they act like they know something and they got it all together? They know everything, and they're so confident. It. People all go to assertions. It's all assertions. Everybody says everything they can about everything, but then it becomes they just assert something. They have to make an assertion about it. And be confident. And I get. I think there is humility in saying I don't know. I don't. I'm not 100%. Like, I don't think I got everything right. And I don't think nobody has everything right. I'm a Christian, but I understand that I don't got everything right. I know, I think it's the most probable thing out there that there is a God, and just the evidence of Jesus is the most strong evidence to put one's faith in out of anything out there. You're gonna choose your faith in Darwinism or evolution, that we came from monkeys. We just somehow developed consciousness and we're here, and you're gonna put your whole life on it, that's reality, as opposed to the Jesus route. And the Jesus route is tough because so many, like, Christians, we don't agree on the same things about Jesus. We all have differing kind of viewpoints, but I always say how we're so fractured as Christians, and we are. There's so many different divisions of Christianity that are happening, that are out there, but we do agree on the vital essentials of what it means to be a Christian. We agree on that. There's agreements on what the main issue is of what Christians, and that's why I'm not a Catholic. I'm not going to say I'm a Baptist. I'm not going to say I'm any denomination. I'm not Orthodox. All these things I used to want to be Orthodox. I think I'm drawn to that. It becomes, in Christianity, the flavor of what you desire, and that's what we've created. But the main Christians in Christianity, we agree on the main issues. We all agree on the main issues. But Mormons, they're not a part of the fold. And that's not to say that people that are in the Mormon church aren't true Christians, but they are not that's teaching it something completely different. That's teaching something completely different than the true gospel and true Jesus and the whole nature of God, who God really is and who we really are. So, but I'm all these things. I just think if you want to think about evolution, you want to think of Darwinism and all that, and put your life on that, it doesn't seem like a safe bet. Just being like, if we go to the Vegas route, what are the odds? What's the best odds to stake your future on? The worst thing imaginable, if you're a Christian and you were a Christian your whole life and you die and you didn't turn out to be true, well, you're dead. You cease to exist. You don't ever live, and you're not thinking about it anymore because you're dead. And the evolution thing ended up being right, but if you stake your life on the Darwinism thing and you don't choose to look into Christ, into who Jesus is, Jesus talked more about hell than anyone. And I know it's not the best thing in the world to talk about hell. Nobody wants to hear or think about hell. And so many Christians now are just talking about, and everything's becoming, how can there be hell? How can there actually be hell? That's a tough one. But Jesus talked about it. He said it is, and so I'm going to err on the side of, thinking there is, and doing everything I can to tell people so that they don't go there, and so I don't go there, it's like, if I was God, I would just make it so everybody gets to go to heaven. But I'm not God. And if you live long enough, everybody learns that they're not God. And then you learn that everybody else is a conscious being on this planet doing their thing, doing their thing, and we're all just figuring it out, finding out our way. I mean, but it's not the most popular, and nobody wants to think about all that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to talk about it because I wanted to figure out what is happening with this Darwinism thing. I grew up in school, and it's just assumed. I became a Christian later in life and realized that Christ is the right way. But now it's like what people are taught about this and what scientists so firmly stand on and believe. How are people? What is the evidence for it? You know, people always say about that. Well, what's the evidence for Christ? What's the evidence for Jesus? What's the evidence for Darwinism? I'm really not seeing it. I'm not seeing strong evidence, and it just becomes a leap of faith, just like any other leap that anyone takes. It becomes a leap of faith. I think most people aren't even believe in the whole Darwinism thing anymore. I think we're almost getting past that, but now it's like we're moving to other crazy waters now with, especially with AI and what the future happens. I think we are getting more close to the singularity and aliens possibly popping down into our planet. I think that, I mean, that could actually happen. And it's like, if that happened, what would your reaction be? What would your reaction be? Would you be like, but I mean, the government's already said aliens are out there. They've already is, but then we are all so desensitized. We just like, okay, that's cool. It's not even, nothing shocks us anymore. Nothing shocks anyone anymore. It's shocking how unshocked we are about anything. Man, but it's like, what is the future? I know people don't and aren't thinking about a lot of these things. People aren't thinking about transhumanism that actually happening. We are going to join ourselves to AI. AI is going to reach consciousness, develop consciousness, and the whole movement towards getting to the next level of the evolutionary stage in human development, that we are going to join with technology. Neuralink is close. Neuralink is, I mean, it's basically out there. And it's like because I guess that's the next stage. The generation before me and my parents, it was all about, we don't want to give anybody our information. We don't want to be out there so somebody can find us on the internet or find us, on anything. And they didn't want to share anything about themselves because they wanted to keep it all closed. And now it's like the new wave of everybody just shares everything. I share everything. I don't even care. But I'm almost, what's the next level? The next level was like, our children are going to be the ones that are just going to be assumed to join and become one with AI and technology. And it's like, are you really going to allow them to put something in your brain so that you can maybe have like almost omniscience yourself? If they could give you a chip, you put it into your brain, and you are able to learn every language in a second, you're going to be able to upload anything you want immediately, instantaneously. It would be hard to say no. Like the phone that you're holding right now being put into your bloodstream, being put into you, your digital self and your physical self joining together. That's going to be the tease. And it's like, maybe or that's what it's going to be tough, because it's like, I would be like, no, I cannot do that. I don't want, and I don't want any of my family to do that. But it's like, that's going to be the temptation to structurally, chemically, completely change our DNA fabric of who we are as humans. Humanity is almost, it's just the stepping stone in evolution. It is the the stage that we are in right now, but it's temporary. It's just evolution is being directed to something. It's evolving. It's becoming, and we're just a link in the link in the chain. That's what people think. But I mean, I don't see it as valid. But I'm to me, Darwinism, it seems like a fairy tale. But I mean, you could say Christianity, that's the fairy tale. Islam, that's the fairy tale. And I don't agree with Islam. I don't agree with Islam at all. It's all the Abrahamic religions: Judaism, Christianity, Islam. And then there's all these offshoots of all those that came into existence. And I would hold that Christianity is the true one. Christianity is just Judaism fulfilled. It's just the Messiah that the Jews are waiting on, we're waiting on, actually came. He came. But then all Christianity just became like so splintered and so different. It became a denomination for everything. But it wasn't always like that. There was one basic church, and then there was the schism around, I think it was around 1091 AD, which went the Western Church and the Eastern Church. And then in the 16th century, that's when the Protestant Reformation happened. Everything is so different. Everything is so, everybody's doing their thing, and trying to figure it all out. And I don't know. Is anyone gonna vote? Is Darwinism true? Is it true or not? Is it true or not? If you had someone made you make a decision, is it true or not? Yes or no? Is it true? Do you believe in Darwinism? I mean, the show I do is called Evolution. Evolution, because I love the word, and I would say Christianity is the true evolution. You could say the transformation. The transformation. Christianity is the transformation, the evolution to the next species, the Uberman, which is the new man. The new man. That's what it is. I wonder if we took a regular real poll and said, is Darwinism true to the United States? I would venture to guess that probably 60%, 60 to 65% of people would say yes, it's true. Even Christians would fall into, that it was a part of, it was the way that God made all this happen. I am still not seeing that. I don't think we need that. I don't think history needs that. I don't think looking at everything that happened and where we came from and all that, it needs Darwinism. I don't think it does. I think it's just something that people have made up. Darwin, it was in this whole period of modernity, and there's a natural explanation for everything. Remove the supernatural. And all of human history, it's always this swinging back and forth of one direction, and then it goes back in the complete opposite direction. No one's voted yet. Come on, votes. Put your vote in. Put your name on the line. Do you believe in it or not? Do you believe it or not? If someone asked me, is Darwinism true? I would say no. I would say no. I would say no. No. Ooh. Hello. I was saying no, man. Retouch on. That's cool. That's cool, man. I'm still not. Still. I'm very interested in learning about the dinosaurs that are out there, and that existed. That existed. And seeing actual archaeology of the dinosaur bones. I watched a really good video. It's Joe Rogan. He had this guy on there. It was probably 5 years ago, maybe longer than that. And they did a video of this. They're watching this guy talking about how and disproving and trying to say dinosaurs did not exist. And he was going through this, and the guy that Joe had on his show was just constantly just berating him and cussing at him and just saying how stupid he was. And it's like very defensive. I think that is something that about any of this, about anything about religion, about politics, I am not a person that's going to get defensive. I am open. And I've never understood why people get defensive or get upset. If someone doesn't believe what I believe, I'm not upset. I don't care. But I want to know it's true. I care what is true, and I'm going to go to whatever's true. And I'm not thinking my viewpoint is so strong, and I'm so right that I cannot be wrong. I can definitely be wrong. No one's brave enough to vote in the poll. I think a lot of people won't vote because a lot of people, they don't know. They haven't done the research. They don't know whether it is or not. But I mean, this isn't like asking, is Jesus true? You know, Darwinism is not a thing. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. It's an idea, a special idea. Whether it's true or not, you know, if it's not going to hurt you, and if it is, it's not going to hurt you. It's nothing, you know. So it's a safe place. We are in a safe place. We're in a safe environment. Still, I mean, hey, I'm open to debating any of this stuff. I'm open to debating any of this stuff. I want to. I mean, I not want to just like try to prove myself, like, because I mean, I guess that's the difference between somebody that's a debater and someone that's not. Like, you got to do everything you can to just make someone else look like a fool and make them look stupid. And I'm right. The position I'm doing is right. I'm correct. You're wrong. I'm right. You're wrong. I'm right. And that's. I think that's fun and all. That can be fun, but that's not what I'm interested in. I care more about what is correct, what is true, for the purpose of, let's find out what's true. What's true, what's not. Let's kind of discern the difference, you know, and get there, you know. It's not a pride issue. At least it's not for me. I guess it can be for some people, you know. They want to be in the right. They don't want to be proven wrong. I'm going to say completed poll, 0%. Nobody voted for it or against it. It's just the way it is, I guess. All right, peace.